Welcome to Transit Talk, Human Design Transits, real talk in real time. I'm Kathy.
And I'm Jess. We meet up about every 6 days to explore the current human design transits and how they're actually showing up in our lives. And we'd love for you to join us.
We're talking energy in the moment, what we're feeling, what we're noticing, and what the transits are stirring up inside us and all around us.
So, whether you're joining us live or listening later, we're glad you're here.
Let's get into it. So, Jess, you are representing the sun today. I'm thinking you
Yes.
don't feel so sunny.
I've got my light on. Are you feeling the sun vibes? The nice hot red nose from blowing it, all the tissues. Yeah.
Uh, you want to tell us about how, what you're representing today?
Yes,
No, you're not feeling the
absolutely.
best.
Yes. So, I had a really good call this morning with Sonia Bergering. And I was like, okay, Sonia, what would you wear for gate 47? And she's like, I would wear a blindfold. I was like, brilliant. I'm like, this is great. I was fully invested until I realized I was like, I can't look at you with this on my face. So we're going to play with the energy of it. So
Right?
this is gate 47. We've got this is gate like the gate of realizing, the gate of oppression. Also in quantum human design, it's the gate of mindset. So this is really about that aha moment. It's kind of like it feels like you're blindfolded. So this is taking all of that pressure, all of that information that's coming through from gate 64, and it's bringing it in and it's starting to take all of that and have that aha moment of realizing. So a beautiful way I've heard this whole channel described is it's like you've got all these images coming in and it's taking all the random images that are coming from gate 64, and then 47 kind of organizes it and they start to like make a story and it brings it together, which is that aha moment. So it can kind of feel like oppression. It can kind of feel like this moment of realization. So it feels a little bit like you're blindfolded while you're going through it.
Yeah, and we're feeling that double right now because it's also the south node right now. So and I am representing the energy of gate 22, which is the gate of openness, also the gate of grace. And I forget what is it in quantum human design. I wrote it down before. You got
Surrender.
surrender. That's right. I knew that because I was like, what could I do with, we're always trying to represent the energy. And I was conducting a workshop right before this that I was very involved in. And so I decided two things. One, I was going to give myself some grace and not feel bad that I'm not. There's nothing I love more than when I have Jess come on camera and burst into laughter, right? That's like kind of my goal in representing these things is for her to be like, oh my God. But I decided to give myself some grace, and I am representing one of the most gracious people that I am familiar with. And because this last weekend, I spent the weekend in Nashville. So it really felt right to wear my Dolly Parton t-shirt because she is one of the most gracious human beings and she really channels um, that energy in such a beautiful way. Even though I looked at her chart and she has a completely open solar plexus, no hanging gates. She has that
Mm.
whole channel undefined. But I still, we all have all the chart, and she very much has this energy of openness and grace. And, the shadow also of that energy is very much that, oh, bless your heart kind of fakeness. And she's played that in enough characters. Like I could just see her being, bless her heart, y'all, that sort of thing. So,
Yeah.
um, and I live in the South now, so I'm very familiar with that gate 22 fake openness,
Mm.
right? Because that's kind of so the shadow of it is of 22 is dishonor, and it's very much about this like fake politeness, or it can be I'm not remembering any of my words today. I used a lot of words talking before this, but
Let
so it can
me
either be
share. Here we
this
go.
fake politeness or it can be the inappropriate behavior, right? So I can definitely, there we go, your beautiful little graphic here. And we have the, so right now I'm talking about the Earth is highlighting gate 22, which is you're so good at the hexagrams. What's the hexagram of that? That is
Let's see. So the 22, the hexagram, so that is the mountain over fire. So
Okay,
that's it's the yang, starting at the bottom, you've got the yang, and then you got the yin yin, and then the yang, and then the yin yin yang.
right. It's mountain over fire.
Mountain over fire for 22.
Okay. So that would be like a volcano. And I could see that in the gate 22, right?
It's a
Um,
fiery energy for me. I definitely notice the fire in it.
yeah. So being asked to ground in this energy right now while we're feeling all this mindset, realizing oppression, kind of um, mental awareness, grounded in an openness. And because it's on the solar plexus, I really think of this as the energy of an open heart. Even though it's not on the heart itself, it's this energy of that's calling us to be able to, it's the ear, it's the left ear. Yeah, the left ear. So it's the left ear. It's asking us to listen with an open heart, right? And to just surrender our agenda when we're listening, to really be present. It's individual energy, and it's calling us to be true to who we are, but also open to who the other is and is expressing. And this is a channel that's, an individual manifesting emotional channel. So when you have an emotional channel that's manifesting energy, it's more intense than I have the individual way between the 39 and the 55, right? The one that's below, that goes from the root to the solar plexus. But when you get into this one, even though they're both similar waves as far as the way we talk about the way they work visually, but there's a difference because it's the motor to the throat energy. So instead of whereas mine is like bumping around between two motors like a bumper car, right? So yeah, there's a lot of stuff here. So I love this little graphic. Maybe if you want to go back to do you want to go back to your gate 47 from the graphic and talk about all the
Yeah.
stuff? For those who are not listening, just
Not listening.
for
For you
those who
not
are not
listening.
watching but are listening, Jess has this beautiful graphic that shows the mandala because these gates are always in opposition to each other. They're across the mandala. So it's always good to have that visual. So
Mhm.
go on.
Yeah, so it's a really beautiful energy. And so the 47, this is an energy I'm pretty familiar with because we've actually been exploring it quite a bit. So 47 is on my unconscious side. It's my unconscious moon. And so we've got gate 47 over here. And again, like Kathy was saying before, it's the opposite side, right? It's these opposite energies. It's this mirror, right? Because if you notice here on the hexagrams, where you have yin on this side, you have yang in the earth. So if on the second, if we're looking at that first line right here, in the sun, we've got yin. In the earth, it's yang. And then if we go to the second line for the sun, it's yang. So on the earth side, it's yin. So it's that mirror of the other one. And they are those opposites, they are those polarities. So really cool to kind of explore how those are showing up for you as well. So 47 is realizing, it's oppression. In quantum human design, again, it is mindset. So this goes through the journey from oppression to transmutation to transfiguration. And also really, really cool to notice. So as we're going through the mandala, sometimes it can feel like, oh, we just have these numbers in our body graph. Everybody's got the numbers, some defined, some undefined, but there's actually that whole progression that they go through, and that we do have that division into the different quarters, and what those quarters, what the energy of that quarter is actually saying. So 47 is in this quarter of duality. And that is your purpose fulfilled through bonding. And then on the opposite side, we have the 22, and this is the quarter of initiation, which is that purpose fulfilled. It's through the mind. So it's moving through all of these as we're going, which is pretty cool.
Isn't
40.
it? Oh, can I interrupt?
Yeah.
I just think it's really interesting to notice that gate 47, a gate that's in the ajna, which is associated with the mind,
Mm-hmm.
it is part of the quality of quarter of duality, which is about bonding, which we tend to
Mm-hmm.
think of as more of an emotional kind of thing. And then
Yeah.
gate 22, that is on the solar plexus, is part of the quarter of initiation, which is about mind. So it's always interesting the way things balance each other out.
Yeah, yeah, that added nuance to it. It's really cool. Um, and so, a big thing with this gate 47 energy is really having a lot of patience, like having patience with yourself, having patience with the process, and being okay with when you've put the pictures together. Going back to that analogy, I have these pictures and I put them together in a certain story, and this seems it. But then it shifts because then a new picture comes in, a new piece of information, and it gets to shift. So just noticing, am I becoming really rigid and I found something that fits and now this has to be it, versus it gets to move a little bit until you get to that aha moment. It's also a projected channel. So this is looking for that invitation, that recognition for you to share what you have found through this realizing, and having so much patience with yourself and the process when it feels like a bit of uncertainty. And on top of all of this, I want to add on the nuance that right now we're shifting, right? We have the global shift, right? And there's a lot of uncertainty as we're shifting into gate 55. And
Mhm.
this is the global background. And we can know these things on a logical level. But I had this beautiful conversation with Sonia this morning. I was like, just, it feels like sometimes I'm like, yes, I'm on top of it and it's feeling great. And then sometimes it's just like, oh, what am I doing? What is happening? And this feeling that we're noticing in that background frequency on top of the transits that are shifting, there is this bigger shift that we're all experiencing. So having compassion with yourself when you're like, I'm feeling a little bit uncertain right now. Things feel like they're changing. And I don't know if this is happening for everyone, but let us know too as well. There's like a piece of almost the way I've experienced it of like mourning and having to let go of pieces and shifting. And that could also be the eclipse. We're going through the big eclipse right now. And then today, 9/9, we've got the portal. So, like, so many different energetic things going on. And then, Kathy,
Oh,
let us know about like the resonance. What's it? The Schumann, not residence.
residents. You know what? I haven't looked at it today. There was a lot earlier, but then there was a lot of just integration the day before. I haven't looked at it today, but today is not only September 9th, which is 9/9, but
Yeah.
this year, 2025, is a number nine year in numerology because when you add
Yeah.
up 2025, you get the number nine. And
Yep.
the number nine is all about letting things go to prepare
Mm.
for the new because next year we'll be in a number one year. We'll be starting new. And I think that's really, there's so much energy right now that is part of letting go of the old way of being. And
Mhm.
a lot of that can feel scary, but we're being asked to, we're being asked to go first, right? We're
Yeah.
being asked, let go of all the things you're doing out of fear,
Mhm.
things that you're doing that aren't aligned for you, that you're afraid if you don't do it that way, you won't be accepted, or there's, in order for the tribe, the world to level up, some people have to go first, and then other people have to join them. And all the people who go first are being seen as brave or crazy, or depending on who's looking at it, right?
Yeah.
So, all of you fifth lines, you genius to freaks, with the 4320, there's so many different ways that you can look at in your chart and see where maybe you're being asked to go first.
Yeah.
Um, but part of it of going first might just be saying no to certain things. It might not even, you might not even be ready to say the yeses yet.
Mhm.
But right now we need to let go of the things that aren't, not to feel they're no longer serving us. That full moon energy that we started with this eclipse on
Mhm.
Sunday is being asked to continue, and it will continue. We've got this, this is an eclipse portal because we have a solar eclipse coming up in what, 2 weeks now, a little less than 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So that's not a full eclipse, it's a partial, but still. And this eclipse was on the node, right? It was on the south node. 47 is the south node right now.
And let me share that real quick.
Yeah.
That
And that
full.
eclipse that's where the eclipse was. So we are looking at this. So right now we have the south node and the sun both in gate 47. And we still have Mercury in gate 64 for a few more days. So for part of this transit that we're in now, we will have this full channel,
Mhm.
the 64, 47 full channel going on. So everybody's getting those drop-ins, those insights. But remember, those are never your authority, even when you have them defined,
Mhm.
right? The mind is always part of outer authority, which is for other people to draw out of you, and you can be an authority to them. Not that you get to make decisions for them, but you can use your wisdom, your gifts to help and to share with others. But we're all getting those feelings right now. So it's important to not get caught up in our minds, not put on an actual blindfold.
I mean,
Um,
sometimes it's nice to run away for a minute.
It's nice at night when you don't want the sun waking you up.
Yeah.
Yeah. But so yeah, so we've got that 47, and then we've got the North Node is
And the Earth,
so
yeah,
tomorrow that will all be conjunct. We'll have it
22,
exact
22.
with the
Yeah.
nodes.
Yeah. That cool. So cool.
Yeah. So very interesting.
It
And then
is.
I noticed when I was writing the transit report that this week has so much lunar activation stuff going on. We have, here, let me pull it up because I won't remember them all. We have so many things that are coming up this week. I want to leave that up so I can say what they are and you can show it. Um, so we've got on later today, we've got the moon will activate gate 51. So that should be coming up pretty soon, I think. Where's the moon at now? It's in line 5 when you did this. So, in a couple of more hours, probably the moon will go into gate 51. So it will connect with gate 25 on so the will be this feeling of connectivity to the identity center. We get that full channel of initiation. And then when it leaves that in 11 hours after that, it goes straight into gate 42, which is down on the sacral and sacral, which do you say? Um,
I say sacral.
okay. And then it will connect with Jupiter in gate 53 around midnight Eastern time tonight. And that will be forming the channel of maturation. And then around 10 a.m. tomorrow, it moves into gate 3, connecting with Pluto in gate 60, giving us the other format channel down there, which is the channel of mutation. So we've got all of that. Then tomorrow we've got the sun joining the south node, which we already talked about that with the nodes going on. Then on Thursday, Mercury goes into gate 47. So we'll have the sun, Mercury, and the south node all in gate 47.
Whew, lots of
Excuse me.
oppression and realizing.
And then on on Saturday, the Mercury will be exactly conjunct with the sun, so they call that a cazimi in 47 line 5. When we go through the lines and think about that energy, how that's going to really be this thing that's we're being asked to communicate about, right?
Mm,
And
mm,
then and then we have it go into gate 6. Mercury will move into gate 6 on Saturday, the day before, because I think it's no Monday. The sun goes into gate 4. I mean gate 6. So we have all this stuff going on. Oh, and right before the end of this transit, the moon will go into gate 12. So we'll end this transit with the full channel of openness, that emotional manifesting
mm,
channel that I was talking about earlier. So think about this energy with all of this realizing and a surrender kind of energy going on
mm-hmm.
with this channel of openness being activated, and really be aware as this stuff comes up. Are you being, are, check your mindset. Are you
Mm-hmm.
having an open heart and listening graciously? And also giving yourself grace when people might be just a little too open and a little too combative, right? Like, I'm not saying we just sit there and listen, but
Yeah.
really doing it from a place of an open heart and not a fear area.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of moon, Mercury stuff going on because, the nodes are all
Mm-hmm.
connected with the moon as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So,
And that's super interesting too with the cross of life, where you're looking at the nodes as well with the sun
Explain
earth.
to our viewers what the cross of life is. They might not know that term.
Yes. So this is, it's just another way of looking at another lens to look through your human design, where you're going in life. So looking at your nodes as, I think the nodes is the horizontal line of it, right? Correct me, or I think it's
I
horizontal. And
believe
this is
so.
like the seeing. This is the
But
way you see things in your life, looking at those nodes. And so this is like saying you have this role to play and looking at the energy of the role you're here to do, but it's also, what is the background, what is the place, what is the environment for it.
the
So
nodes
it's
are the
like,
storyline. So
yes, so
we
it's like,
you
yeah,
see it
and
as a
it's like
horizontal,
looking
yes.
at, if you're, I think the example given was if you're an opera singer, but you're at some rock band or you're somewhere else, it's maybe you're doing the thing you're here to do, but is it in the right environment? Is it in the right place? Is it on the right stage? And interesting because it's looking at both of those polarities and also how the nodes, interesting. I don't know if this necessarily means anything, but my mind is interesting because the nodes move clockwise and then the sun earth is counterclockwise, and them coming together, that feels kind of cool as well with that cross of life. So lots of just little this is kind of interesting moments. I see all these cool pictures right now, and there's not necessarily a story formed, or maybe there won't even be a story formed, but it's, here's the pictures, and not feeling oppressed by it, that there isn't necessarily something, or if there is an aha for someone, share with us. What do you think about that? How does that speak to you? If there's something that comes through with that as well, just being able to go, oh, look at these cool things, but not necessarily having to force or make it mean something.
Yeah, because that 6447 channel that we're all feeling right now, we have been for a little bit because it's been activated by the nodes and various things. Like last week we had the sun in there, right? Or was it the earth? Sun,
It was
right?
fun.
Sun. Um, but we've had this activation going for a while and just realizing that this is all this is not logical energy. It's mind stuff, but it's sensing circuit. It's recognizing, it's feeling into things. It's knowing that you can shift how you look at things. Like you said, the next picture that drops in could change everything, and not holding on to something rigidly because, that's where our pain comes in, how we hold on to how we think things should be, right?
Mm-hmm.
So do we feel complete on this? Do we want to talk any more about any of this, or are we ready for some cosmic weather?
I'm ready for some cosmic weather. I'm ready for this thing to be off my face. It's like hot. I'm done with the oppression. Goodbye.
Are you oppressed by your blindfold?
I was oppressed by my blindfold, so I took it off.
All right. So now it's time for our weekly cosmic weather forecast, where we bring you the daily line by line flavor of the current transit. Think of this as your energetic weather report, complete with a high chance of feels and a low pressure system of wisdom just waiting to land. Each day, we're tuning into the specific energy of the lines as the sun and earth highlight them. On Tuesday, we've got line one energy with the sun in taking stock and the earth in second class ticket. A day for review, humility, and noticing where we may feel overlooked. The shadow weather. Folks may wander around muttering like they've lost the plot, overthinking, second guessing, convinced they're holding a second class ticket in life. The gift forecast. Clear skies for humility and gratitude. People may slow down, take stock, and appreciate simple roles with quiet dignity. Line conditions. Air feels heavy but calm, like fog at dawn with pockets of sudden clarity. Special weather alerts. There's a lot this day. Awakening is in the air with the shock of the moon in gate 51, connecting with Saturn and Neptune in Innocence at gate 25, sparking the channel of initiation. Later tonight, cycles are in motion as the growth of the moon in gate 42 links with Jupiter in beginnings at gate 53, completing the channel of maturation. Mercury is also defining the channel of abstraction with the sun, so conversations and messages may feel scrambled before clarity lands. On Wednesday, we've got line two energy with the sun in ambition and the earth in charm school. A day of drive, style, and the pull between inspiration and distraction. Shadow weather. Ambition runs high, but so does drama. Oh boy. Style may be used as camouflage with charm trying to cover cracks that everyone can still see. Put a lipstick on a pig. Um, gift forecast. The air feels lively with possibility. Some align with the right causes and use their natural flair to inspire rather than distract. Line conditions. Breezy conditions with gusts of ego dressed up as charisma. Special weather alert. By mid-morning, transformation takes hold with the ordering of the moon in gate 3 meeting Pluto in limitation at gate 60, fueling the channel of mutation. On Thursday, we've got line 3 energy with the sun in self-oppression and the earth in the enchanter, a day of mental pressure and magical grace colliding. Shadow weather, a storm of self-oppression blows in. People may act like the sky is falling, stuck in mental doom loops, unable to see the sun behind the clouds. Gift forecast, grace moves like a warm front. Some radiate enchanting energy, lifting spirits and reminding others that beauty still exists in the simplest things. Line condition, clouds cover thick with sudden breaks of dazzling light. Special weather alert. Mercury moves into realization with gate 47 today, shifting our collective conversations more deeply into mindset and meaning making. From the deeply personal to the dynamically public, Jess, give us the scoop on the upper trigram and how the energy is playing out across the bigger stage.
Thanks, Kathy. On Friday, we've got line 4 energy with the sun in repression and the earth in sensitivity, a day of tension that can either clamp down or soften into connection. Shadow weather. Repression warnings in effect. Folks may rigidly cling to fossilized ideas, forcing their way through interactions like they're carrying emotional sandbags. Gift forecast. Sensitivity transforms the air. Some adjust with grace, creating connections that feel nourishing and radiant. Line conditions. Variable skies, storms in some quarters, and breakthroughs of brilliance in others. On Saturday, we've got line 5 energy with the sun in the saint and the earth in directness, a day where truth cuts through for better or worse. Shadow weather. Soapboxes may be out in full force, with people forcing clarity where none exists. Expect truth to be shouted in all caps. Gift forecast. The sky's clear with saintly presence. Directness shines, and the truth spoken with grace can cut through the noise. Line conditions. Bright skies with sudden flashes of lightning. Breakthroughs in communication are likely. Special weather alert. Words carry extra weight, with Mercury Kazemi the sun in line 5 of gate 47, amplifying clarity and illuminating through the gate of realization. On Sunday, we've got line 6 energy with the sun in futility and the earth in maturity, a day of wariness that can transform into elegance and grace. Shadow weather. Futility advisory. Expect a chorus of "What's the point?" as mental loops spiral into hopelessness. Gift forecast. Sophistication and maturity bring calm. Simple elegance clears the air, and those grounded in grace shine with steady sincerity. Line conditions. Overcast early, easing into serene evening skies. Special weather alert. Hearts open wider as the caution of the moon in gate 12 meets the grace of the earth and the north node in gate 22, activating the channel of openness and inviting us to share spirit with one another. That's your cosmic weather, folks. There may be chaos in the weather, but you'll find clarity in your chart.
Thanks, Jess. Radical self-trust is still your best umbrella. Follow your strategy and authority and shine your light, my friends. I feel like we need some sort of effect noise at the end there, right? Ta-da, we're done.
Ta-da!
It always feels like a lot to say. So, oh, I didn't want to do that. Wait. Okay. So, if anybody wants to come on camera and talk about the weather today, that would be um, Perfect. So now would be your time. I'm going to have to figure out
Hi,
how I
Marion.
did that. Hi, Marion. How are you feeling with this weather today? This cosmic weather?
Um, kind of tired.
Yeah.
Kind of tired, but yesterday kind of packed a wallop I think yesterday. It was almost like setting up for today or something. I guess the eclipse. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'm feeling positive though, even though I'm feeling tired. So it feels kind of
Do you have the 22 or the 47 defined in your chart?
I have the 22 defined in my
I
chart.
don't have either one of these. So what do you have it defined by? We didn't talk about you having it either. While she's looking, Jess, you have the 47, but not the 22, right? Yeah.
Correct. I have 47, but it's unconscious. So this whole channel of abstraction for me is unconscious. So that
So
was a beautiful
it's on
moment
the
of,
design side, and you might not be as aware of its
Mhm.
process.
Yep.
Plus, that's a split for you, right?
Yeah, my head and my ajna are split from
Yeah.
the rest of my activations as a triple split.
You're not connected to her mind.
Mm-mm. And that's it loops up there sometimes. It's like, yeah, and people like you get stuck in your mind. I'm like, you have no idea. Like, really, though, there's nothing between the ajna and
Where
throat.
meanwhile, I got nothing above the neck.
I
My
just
husband
want to
likes
want to
to
add
go,
again, we know we all have
I'll have
every
all the
part. We just
chart. I
don't
know.
have consistent access to it. It's not defined. We all have
Right?
parts, but we like to joke about it.
So do you know what activates it on your chart, Marion?
Yes, it's unconscious Jupiter.
Mm.
Ah,
Mhm.
okay. So
In line 6.
okay. So I mean, we've been having this activated by the nodes for, a while, a little bit now, but I
Mhm.
always feel like there's always a big difference when the nodes activate something, because that feels like it's more just like what's going on around us.
Mhm.
I don't know about you, but I don't feel the activations from the node shifting as dramatically. Like
Mhm.
it really does feel more like people are different. Things look different, but I don't feel different when I wake up. You know what I mean?
How you see things. That's really interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
So,
just starting to learn to attune to the differences of the sun and earth and the gates because you would think you mentioned last time about when we look at the transits from the slower planets, like their longer effects. I'm more used to with astrology, looking at that more for
right.
myself.
Yeah.
Or if I'm looking at like my personal lunar or solar returns, maybe I'll look more at other planets,
Mhm.
but general. So now with human design, I'm trying to distinguish each gate with the sun and moon. I'm just beginning to cultivate that sensitivity to noticing. So
Mhm.
that's why I'm
Yeah.
here.
That's great. We're glad that you are here. And I noticed certain things will definitely have a bigger effect. I mean, like next week, the next transit, the sun moves into gate 6. Well, I have hanging gate 59 three times on my undefined sacral.
I have
So,
hanging gate 59 also.
but
Me
do you have,
too.
but you guys both have defined sacrals, right? Aren't you a generator type, Marion? I don't remember.
No,
You're
I'm
a
a
projector?
projector.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, my design sun, my design Venus, and my design Uranus. Yeah,
Mhm.
Wow.
all
Okay.
on 859. So I really expect to, feel that activation because not only does it define my sacral, it connects with a part of my incarnation cross, right? So
Mhm.
that feels
Yeah.
really juicy, but not juicy is not always, it can be juicy, can be sparky, like it can be,
Mhm.
especially with that gate 6. That gate's
That friction.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
yeah, and a lot of times we need friction to light a fire under us to get us to
Mhm.
do something that, we're here to do, right? So
Yep.
we'll see. We'll just have to wait and see what happens, right?
Oh yeah, I feel that I don't know because I haven't experienced that one yet, but I just want to speak to like for me, whenever the solar plexus is defined, I feel it. I feel that. And Marion, do you have a defined solar plexus?
Yes,
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. So you and Kathy both have the defined solar plexus. Yeah. When that, I feel that.
Mhm.
I deeply, more so than I would say most of the other ones. So it'll be interesting to contemplate it. And it's also been really amazing to go through these energies because there was a time where I was, okay, whatever, the sun and the earth, and then it's flipped. The energy is still there. But now starting to feel the difference of when right now the 47's the sun versus when the 22 was the sun. And I'm like, oh, there's like this little extra different flavoring how this feels for me right
Mhm.
now.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I find it very helpful to use the language of the gate 47 energy. We're feeling this energy, but we're being asked to ground in that other energy. And if I really think of that with the earth and the idea of grounding in this gate of grace, so I'm feeling the realizations come in and having the shift in mindset, and realizing, seeing the oppression, but I'm grounding in this openness
Mm-hmm.
of, you know, having grace. There's all of the gates of the solar plexus all have fears attached to them. And the fear in gate 22 is that there will not be anything worth listening to.
Mhm.
And so when you think of this as being associated with one of the ears, right? We've got 57 is the left ear and 57 is the right ear. I always think of it the way
22,
I'm looking
22.
at it.
Yeah.
57 is the right ear and 22 is the left ear. And we will often feel that there will not be anything worth listening to. My sister has this gate, has a hanging unconscious gate on her undefined solar plexus. And it was interesting because I noticed for a while I was having issues with my left ear being plugged, like having
Mm.
pressure in my left ear where it was sort of blocked. And at that point in time, we're super close, but she and I were really spending a lot of time talking together. And so then later I was like, and this is where it's tricky not to make something mean something, but there was this awareness that came through to me that this has something to do with the sheer amount of time I was talking to her. And was it my body telling me, don't make her your authority because she has a defined ajna? And I listened to her a lot. And I have the 57 defined, which is about trusting your own intuition, all this stuff, right?
Yeah.
And so I thought that was really interesting that I used to have this issue with that particular ear and pressure in it.
Mm.
And
Mm.
then when life got busy and things shifted, and now I just talk to Jess all the time, and I talk to my sister sometimes. And Jess doesn't have that 22. I don't have that pressure in my ear, which I think is
Mm.
interesting,
Do you
right?
feel it in your sacral?
Well, she had to define everybody. I
Yeah.
always feel it in my sacral because
You're everywhere.
you sacral people are everywhere. That's one of the really interesting things about my being with my manifestor daughter is she is single definition. And together we go sing. A triple split and I become single definition, but she does not define any other centers for me. Now I define different
Mm.
centers for her, but she does not define any centers, but she bridges my split. So it's a really interesting different than say my husband who bridges all my splits, but we are 8 and 1. He defines my ajna and my sacral, you know. So as you notice how these different things impact you and show up, uh,
Mhm.
I don't know, that was a big tangent.
I got a lot from it though.
Good.
I love it. Sorry, someone's knocking at my door. I'll be right back. I was like, they'll go away, but they're like, knock, knock,
You're so
knock.
funny.
The
Okay.
kind of knock that it's like, I'm not going to go away. It must be like a signature delivery. I'll be right back.
Okay. Okay, that's funny. So yeah, I was doing a workshop that I was leading in a different as a guest in somebody else's community, and my doorbell rang, and I'm like, oh, I don't know who that is, so I never did go, but you know, anyway, oh, she's back. That was
Oh,
quick.
yeah. No, I just had to check the door. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Okay. What
Okay.
did I miss? Where are we?
Just me talking
Nothing.
about the doorbell ringing during my workshop and how I was like, I don't know who that is and I'm not going.
You're like, not today. Sorry,
Yeah.
delivery. Come back
Yeah.
tomorrow.
It wasn't a delivery. No. My
Yeah.
daughter actually texted and said, it's ProCare and I don't know what to do, so I'm not going. She just looked out the window and saw the thing and I was like, it's fine, you know. It's
Yeah.
just, when you have people who come and check the little termite things or whatever, and they're
Hmm.
gonna tell you
Yeah.
what they saw,
Yep.
whatever. I
Yep.
don't care.
Yep.
So that was a little digression. But yeah, so this stuff with the all the moon is also something that's always interesting to watch because they're short things, so we don't always notice them. And normally I don't really pay a lot of attention, but I noticed there were so many this week when I was writing it. Like the fact that the moon was more often creating a channel for someone or
Mhm.
for us than not. And then you add in there any times that it might create a channel just for you. Because I just read the channels that it creates by connecting with the transit energies. But like I know it's in gate 20 at one point and I have the 57, so then I get the brainwave. So there's a lot of moon activation going on this week. And so, this is what Ra calls the program, the way the transits do this. So it's not meant to in any way become our authority, but it does move society in a trajectory of sorts. So when you can be aware of it and see how it's playing out around us, and it's tricky because it's oftentimes to be like, ooh, look at this weather. This is when my daughter's been listening to stuff on TikTok where everybody was saying nobody has seen Trump for days. They're all saying that he's dying or something. And then you got the astrologers like, this is when it's gonna. I don't believe in doing any of that predictive stuff because you have no idea what any of it's gonna mean. And whenever you start doing it, then you're getting into mind stuff. So, but when you start looking at it and you can see it in hindsight. I think Casey was talking about this. I was hoping she was going to be on here. She was having some good posts yesterday. She was talking about, and I told her, come talk about it on here. But when you can look at it in hindsight, and a lot of times when something happens and you're in a situation, and then you go, oh, I remember that this is going on right now. So maybe they really aren't such a horrible person. They're just not aware at the moment of how this program is playing out on them. And so you can have a little more grace and you can not not get triggered the way they're getting triggered.
And, wanted to come back to what you said earlier. And it feels really true to me how you said for the energy, it's
Mhm.
for the sun, it's your feeling. And I feel like it's the sun energy that we're feeling it. And then the earth energy is like, this is the wall I can lean against. Can you tell my energy's tired right now? It's not grounding, it feels a wall. Help me, hold me up.
Right? Yeah.
um, and that feels really, really beautiful. And remembering you said it is that outer energy, it is that program. And what came up when you were talking about all of this too is like there was this beautiful moment for me where I realized with my energy as a female, our energy changes depending on our menstrual cycle. There's times of the month where we have more energy, and there's times of the month where we have less energy, and there's times where we're moody, whatever, all these things going on, and allowing myself and being aware of it. And kind of helping that gauge and just go a little bit of softness with myself. Okay, yeah, today I did a quarter of the things that I did last week, but that's okay. That's where my energy is right now. And so the same thing with the transits. It's, oh, this is just where it is right now. This is where this energy is. And sometimes, I mean, especially gate 34, I don't know about everybody else, but when that one's activated, it's, ooh, supercharged. I feel I can do all these things, right? Um,
Right.
and having that piece of that permission to go, okay, there's a different energy going on.
It also can be helpful to look at the energy for someone, you or I, Miriam, where we have an undefined sacral. We could look at a day and go, I've got a lot I want that my authority is saying. I want to do. Yes, I'm saying yes to this invitation. And if
Mhm.
I have a say so as to when, maybe I will do it on a day where I'm going to feel some of that sacral energy of this
Yeah.
transit. Or maybe I'm not going to do it on a day where I'm going to feel this kind of what energy that might make me a little more reactive. You can look at those
Mhm.
things. And I'm not saying even that can be a little bit too much mind stuff, but there are always going to be times where we still use our mind to make some nuanced as of decisions.
Yeah, it
Like,
feels like the mind is like opening the door, but then trusting the energy of it, right? Not fully going, oh, this is the time because this is the transit or this is the thing. Yeah, and that feels really, really beautiful. That feels so good. Just like
That's
allowing.
grace, like being graceful in an allowing whatever the energy is.
yeah,
That's it.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Okay, I feel like we've wrapped all this up, right? Are we complete? Oh, I didn't look to see if anybody said anything in the Facebook group recently. Um,
I have that up here. I didn't see
I didn't see any
anything. Yeah.
comments there before, so I think we're good.
Yeah.
So, all right, we'll see everybody next week when we're in the gate of friction, and I've got my whole little tribal emotional channel of intimacy going there, right? Oh, you
Yeah.
will have you will too, Jess. Tilly, Jess will have that.
I'm
Jess is going to embrace that feeling of the emotional wave this time, right?
yeah, I'm gonna love it.
Here, it's here to bring you more lessons in intimacy.
Lessons on intimacy, my year's theme.
All right, peace out, everybody.
Awesome.
Bye.